To get more views and more subscribers here on YouTube, you need to increase things like click-through rate and watch time. And you can easily do that with this #1 proven secret to grow your channel fast on YouTube in just 2 clicks. Coming up, roll the intro. Hey name tags and welcome, this is Ash from Fifine Tech, and you can unleash your true potential by subscribing and clicking the bell notification icon so I can help you go from newbie to techie. And also support the channel by using my Amazon affiliate links for US and UK. As long as you use my links to browse and buy on Amazon, the channel will get a small kickback without costing you extra. To get more views and more subscribers here on YouTube, you need to increase things like click-through rate and watch time by implementing best YouTube practices such as optimizing SEO through the thumbnail, title, description and tags with the relevant keywords. The #1 way you can do that, only constant that has remained unchanged despite the ever-changing algorithm triggers, is by uploading quality content consistently. The keyword here is consistently. Now, you can only be consistent if you are actually producing content to upload, and you can only produce content to upload if you press that record button, edit and upload that video onto YouTube, because done is better than perfect. But how can you be done if you're always fighting with your recording setup to the brink of pulling your hair out and scrapping the whole footage because the focus was wrong, the mic wasn't connected, the battery ran out, the exposure was too high, you ran out of storage, or you accidentally deleted footage, only to restart that vicious cycle again the following day? And that is if you eventually manage to even record something, however terrible the footage might be, because there are times when you can spend the entire day just trying to set up. Sooner than you think, nighttime is here and you're still setting up and fine-tuning your gear. You're so exhausted without energy or willpower to record anything. And that vicious cycle one more time. Waste of time, no uploads, no consistency, and the YouTube algorithm won't be your friend. Well, I have a perfect solution for you, and that is to share with you my method of creating the best filming setup, which will allow you to record, edit and upload content not only faster, but also without having to worry about all the above. A couple of clicks is all it will take to record, edit and upload that content so you can get more views and more subscribers and grow fast here on YouTube. We are using a desktop computer setup for this tutorial, but you can also do this with a laptop, albeit less efficiently. Also, this is not taking into account those vloggers who only vlog from their smartphones and even upload it directly from their smartphones with or without editing. There are many genres and niche content areas where a smartphone will just not do. For this to work, you need to set these 4 things permanently or semi-permanently and provide a continuous source of power so that things like batteries running out do not stop you from recording. These 4 things are lighting, camera, audio and background setup. Let's start with the 2-click method first. Easiest and fastest way is to live stream content directly onto YouTube. And for this, you're going to need a minimum of a webcam like this Logitech C920 HD 1080 Pro. And also you're going to need a decent microphone. You can use something like this USB Fifine K669B microphone. I've done a review on that. Check it there in the description below. And all you need is an application like OBS, which is Open Broadcasting Software, okay, which is this one. Now you can potentially also stream directly onto YouTube's own streaming services. I prefer to use OBS because it gives me a lot more option. And I mean it when I say literally 2 clicks. The first click, you open Broadcasting Software, and the second click, if you come a bit closer without being in the shot, you just press on Start Streaming. And once you press Start Streaming, if you've set your streaming services correctly direct to YouTube, you will be now creating content and streaming directly to YouTube. Obviously, for this scenario, I'm using the webcam to stream myself directly. There are options. You can also, if you set your OBS properly, you can screen record this, for example, and do a tutorial of that, or some people will be using gaming probably. And you can even do a screen and webcam, like in this case, if you can see here, I've got the webcam up here and the screen. So this is another type of tutorial. So this gives me 3 options. The beauty about this is you don't even need lighting for this one. The reason is because the webcam, you can kind of adjust it, and the light coming from the screen should be enough to illuminate yourself. But in case you don't need the webcam, screen recording, you don't even need lighting. So that is the absolute fastest, easiest way to start recording and uploading to YouTube. Okay, obviously after the streaming you should go and do some SEO optimization for your title, thumbnail, description, but that's something you have to do anyway. I'm talking about here just the very act of creating content very quickly and very easily without having to mess about with your setup. Now if you don't want to stream, the option 2 is you use your webcam and the USB microphone to directly record yourself or record tutorial, and then you can edit and upload. Again, the beautiful thing is because it's already connected to your computer, so whatever you're going to be recording, both the visual and the audio, is already on your computer ready to be edited and uploaded. Third option, now we go to a more traditional setup like this Canon EOS 650D, okay, which is a DSLR. And currently what I've got it connected to is an audio microphone. This is the VideoMic Go. This is a non-powered microphone, which means I don't have to worry about batteries. Now the Canon DSLR, instead of me using a battery, I have connected a power adapter, which is not the original one, but this is like a compatible one, and this is being powered by a plug here. And that's the key, is to provide continuous source of power to your recording equipment, so you don't have to stop midway or if your battery is running out. Okay, and that's really important. Now for this to work though, even though it's on manual setting, now I've set this in a way that the positioning, the angle, the framing, the ISO, the shutter speed, the frame rates, everything is already preset. Only way you can make that happen is if you have a lighting setup like this, and this is the fill light, and on the back here you've got a background light, and also obviously your background is already set, which is in my case it separates my bedroom. That's the only way that you can leave your camera alone without messing with it, because everything is preset, because you're controlling the light. You're not using outside light, which will change your exposure, etc. Now I've done a video tutorial on this. This is an LED light, it's a DIY. It costs $15 or £12, so cheap. And obviously I'm powering this with a 12 volt 2 amp standard plug, okay, which you can find from anywhere. For this setup, I turn on my light. This light is currently not powered by a continuous power, it is battery powered, but this is a fill light, and I had a different light here before which was powered by continuous power. So that's something negligible, because sometimes, like you can see, I've got a window, I do use that light sometimes, but this is not that important for me, but I will change it in the future. As long as the main light is there, my background is there, and also there are some lights coming from my screen, so I have enough lighting to be able to use this DSLR. Okay, now the other key thing about this DSLR is I also use another app, and the app I use is called Canon EOS Utility. Now I've connected a USB cable from the Canon to my computer, and like you can see, this EOS Utility, I can click on a camera setting or remote shooting and then click on live view shoot, in which case I can now see myself, and not only that, I can adjust certain settings directly on screen, like ISO, the f-stop, or the shutter speed, or even the white balance, but I don't have to because the lighting is controlled. But I can just press record here. Once I'm done recording, it's going to ask me to download straight to the computer, and I can choose to do this. If it's a problem, because sometimes the camera, it does shut off after a while, I can just switch off the camera, take the SD card and plug it into my kind of 5-in-1 storage adapter, whatever it's called, and then transfer the footage straight to my computer. Obviously, to be more cautious, I also use something else now. Once I transfer the footage, I use an application like Syncredible. This is a synchronized application, kind of a backup. Straight away, I will back up my footage. That means if I lose the first footage, I have a backup already. I also have something attached to this Canon EOS 650D. This is the Parrot teleprompter 2, and I haven't done a review on this yet. I've been using it very recently, only about 3 videos. Probably today I'll use it again, but this is something I would highly recommend if you want to speed up your whole production process even faster. It is so helpful, but yeah, it's optional. You don't have to if you're very good at reading off from bullet points or winging your way. I'm not. Now, some people might ask, why don't I use the DSLR camera to also use for streaming? That's because the DSLR camera, this one will stop after 30 minutes, although you can use something like Blackmagic application to get longer shoots. I prefer to use a webcam, which gives me indefinite shooting hours and also recording, as long as you've got space on your hard drive to be able to store all of that. So I don't tend to keep that for streaming. I could. The other beautiful thing about this is because there are 2 methods to which I use this camera. Now, one way is like you've seen through the EOS utility. This is through the computer, but for some reason, if I don't want to use my computer or if the computer isn't working, I can actually unplug this cable and then use the camera separately, because if you can come around and see, this camera has got a flip out screen, so I can see myself, my background is set up, my lighting is set up, I don't need to use the computer, I record straight into there with my audio, and Bob's your uncle. So that was, I think, option 4. Now we have moved to my second filming area. The one there before, this was my normal main filming area. I used to actually have 3 screens on this table. You've seen the review of this table, and you've seen a few videos where I had 3 screens here, but I've sacrificed 1 screen just to be able to put my DSLR camera here. Now that 3rd screen, now I've placed it here. But prior to this, I used to actually have 4 screens, and the screen that was here for this filming area was also connected to another computer, but it was getting too much in terms of cables and equipment, and this is way too much. So I decided to streamline the whole thing. Although I sacrificed 1 screen, but it does kind of work out. And I will tell you that every content creator needs to have at least 2 screens for monitors. You cannot work, or it's more difficult to work with only 1 screen. Right, now starting here, again, the first thing that you're gonna have to start with, these 2 light setup are permanently connected and continuously powered through a mains power, right? They do take the normal NP-F550 batteries or other types of batteries, but like I've mentioned, you want to be able to do without batteries, because this is what's going to stop you from continuing your filming. So I don't depend on the batteries, although I've got them as an option. So this lighting setup, again, because of the light setup, this environment is not controlled. I don't have to mess with ISO and shutter speed, etc. I have here a second camera. This is the same exact camera as my other EOS 650D from Canon, and it is filming down, like you can see. We currently have this setting. Now this camera also is connected to my computer, so when I'm done with the recording, click off and I can download or transfer all the footage to my camera. Again, do the same process, which means backing up the whole thing. Obviously this Canon EOS 650D does have a flip out screen, but the way I've positioned this doesn't allow me to use the flip out screen conveniently. What I've done instead, I've also connected a mini HDMI cable from the Canon to this monitor screen, like you can see right now. So that means this monitor and this camera and this setup is also independent from my main computer. At the same time, this camera is also connected to another microphone. I don't always use this. This is powered, by the way, with normal batteries, because when I do filming here, sometimes I use another recorder, which is an external recorder. Not always, but the beautiful thing about my setup is, look at that. I can just swing my USB, right, this way, and I have audio, which is also connected to my computer. So I've got that audio sorted already if I want to use the video from here and the audio from there. So that's not an issue. Some of you may be wondering about those occasions when you need to take your camera off its fixed position and shoot elsewhere. And you would be right, as this does mess up all the setup. The solution is simple. You need at least 2 filming gear. one permanent and one you can take with you. And no, you don't have to spend a lot of money. A webcam as permanent and your smartphone as the second camera will do for starters. Otherwise, consider getting a relatively cheap used camera. You'll be surprised what you can pick up on the used market. If some of you are thinking that you don't need a second camera, just removing the fixed one will do, you will be back to square one and waste time with setup. You can't imagine how much time I have wasted the last 4 years with setting up for a video and how many frustrating variations of this setup I have done until I found what works for me. So that was my number one secret method to help you get more views and more subscribers and grow your channel fast here on YouTube. The goal is to reduce every possible distractors and barriers to producing well-optimized quality content to upload. And by having a well-organized filming setup that you don't need to mess with, you will have more time to produce content and be on your way to become successful on YouTube. Remember, done is better than perfect. Now I want to hear from you. If you have any top tips or secrets to increase views and subscribers and be successful on YouTube, please feel free to jot them down in the comment section below. In our last poll, you guys voted for daily upload of the One PC to Rule Them All series, so I guess we can start pretty soon. I just have a couple of videos to finish, like the troubleshoot a computer not turning on series and the wireless microphone review video, and we will be on our way. Like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell notification icon, and go check out my other videos on the channel, and don't forget to use my Amazon affiliate link. This was Ash from My Tech, helping you go from newbie to techie. I will see you in the next one. Keep unleashing your true potential. Peace out.